何か考えてる？
どのタイミングで急ブレーキかけたらラッキープニプニパニックに遭遇できるかをちょっとな。謝るから頸動脈キュイってするのはやめとこ。
What's going on, my friends? Today we're talking about Chitose in a Ramune Bottle. This was episode number 1, and this was about a 30-minute episode. Very rare to see. And depending on which memes you watched the episode, we actually got insight to, looks like some of the voice actors after too. I kind of skimmed through that part, but it was still cool to kind of see, you know, more, not effort, but just, another side to the show that we rarely get insight in unless you kind of buy into a Blu-ray or something. So I thought that was really cool, like a behind the scenes thing of just seeing like the voice actors, you know, go have a meal and, you know, drink a Ramune bottle or whatever. I thought that was a cool thing. Now with this show, I do have to say, I'm gonna get a lot of, just depending where you're at after watching this episode, I'm probably going to get some particular comments, and I hope I do, because I don't know if I liked this episode. I don't know if I liked the show, to be honest. And one of the things I thought about, also, what's up guys, I'm Dom from the Otaku Room. If you clicked on here for the first time, what's up? I review seasonal anime, and I have a lot of strong opinions about shows, and you may agree or disagree with them, and both of those things are totally okay. That's why I watch videos like this, is so I can be like, oh, you're so wrong, yeah, or I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I thought about the show too. So when it comes to the show, one of the things I was thinking about as I was watching it is, am I becoming an anime snob? Like, as I'm watching a lot of fall anime, and I'll be real, fall anime is not good so far. Like, I thought summer, like, so winter, okay. Winter anime, as we ended last year, winter anime was really good. And spring anime was really good. And then summer anime was okay. It was, for me, it was really held up by like My Dress Up Darling and Fragrant Flower. Like, there was like maybe 3 or 4 anime that really made the season like good, and then everything else was like 5s and 6s. It was like, it was not that good. So I was like, oh, you know, surely fall anime can be way better. You know, if there's more decent shows, if there's more decent, like good shows, like more 7 out of 10s, that is a better season than like 2 or 3 8 or 9 out of 10s, and then everything else is just kind of doo-doo. But as I'm watching the fall anime, just like this show, I'm finding nothing but like 6s and 5s. And that, I know that seems kind of harsh. And I was thinking, like, am I becoming an anime snob? Because first off, let me just kind of take you through the events that happen, and I'll pull up the show to kind of go through it. So first off, the intro. Okay, the intro was like 2 minutes long, and it was all about the blue in the world, and blue means depressed. Okay. Blue is a what is the word for it? It is a hint at depression. Okay, so when they say blue world, you know, it's like the old song, you know, if the world was blue, if it was green, I would die. Whatever. Blue is a hint at depression. Okay, I totally get it. It's hard to empathize with a kid being depressed, but it happens to everybody, right? And we all look through the world in different lenses. So blue is a hint for depression. Now, the beginning of the episode, though, I thought it was super cheesy. So I didn't like the beginning of the episode. I basically scoffed. I basically scoffed, okay? Then we get introduced to our main character, which is Saku Chitose. And he's known around the school as like a womanizer and stuff. And I think the episode starts with him looking at a text message. And the text message was like, oh, the actual words were, let me see if I can find it here. They talk about him being a fuckboy, which just means that a lot of folks are jealous. So it says, Saku Chitose of class 5 is a fuckboy. Anonymous. You have to imagine it's like Twitter or Reddit or Line or some kind of social media. How many hearts has he broken now? So basically, it's just other students being jealous that he's very popular with girls, and that's destroying his mental. As the show goes on, it then introduces us to some of his classmates. You know, Yuku Hiragi, Yusuke Nanase, Haru something. It introduces us to his teacher later on. I don't know what his name is. It introduces to another girl, Yua Uchida, and it's like, oh, she's she's a basketball star. She's the second captain. She's a track star. She's the school goddess, whatever, right? And they all seemingly seem to have like an interest in him, which is totally fine. And as they, as they're doing that, it becomes very apparent, probably by minute, probably about 10 minutes in, right? He begins to go and talk to the teacher. It becomes apparent that what he's doing is a defense mechanism. So he's acting very bombastic and very lively and very like, oh, would you let me gaze upon your boobies? You know what I mean? It's very funny. And, it's a defense mechanism, and it's partial, like a thing that we all do, I think, is like you may act different in certain scenarios and stuff. Totally fine. But it's a hidden thing to kind of like not let anybody know the true him. It's very apparent that that's what it is. That's what they're going for. Then, the teacher assigns him to go and speak to the student who is just not coming to school for whatever reason, right? Then he meets this other girl that I guess he has an interest in, and she's different. So immediately I'm like, but she's different. Her name's Asuka Nishino. And she just intrigues him, right? The way she views the world is so different than me, right? And I think it's doing a good job of capturing, like, as I haven't been a teenager for a very, very long time, but as a teen, you're going through a lot of things, right? Puberty is one of them, but you're discovering the world. You're discovering who you are. What is my purpose here? Why am I here? What's the purpose of me going to school? Why do I have to go to school? My first date, my first love, my first kiss, my first this, my first that. What does it mean? What's the importance of that? Why do I have to do that? Why shouldn't they do that? Why did they do that to me? You're discovering all of these things, right? And it's kind of like it is world overload in a way. And there was hints again, the blue thing signifies depression. And as the show kind of went on, his friend kind of said like, oh, you used to play baseball. So essentially he probably had a thing to where maybe he got injured and he stopped playing baseball, and that sent him into a depression. So now he's this very bombastic fuckboy character that they like to describe it as. And it shows him interacting with two of the girls and the way that they view him. And one of the girls was really forthcoming that she likes him and this and that. Then he goes to try and, get the kid that, that's not going to school, and he's going through a depression thing. Basically, he thought a girl liked him, and she didn't, and his world crumbled. Basically, he's like, oh, everyone's bad, and this guy's bad, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up breaking in with his bat at the end of the episode, and the guy's like, oh my God. So my problem with all of it is, one, the writing's kind of on the wall. A little bit about his character, the depressiveness of it. He's going to speak in soliloquies and is going to be the jokester, you know what I mean? And it's fine if it's funny. But if it's not, then it just becomes writing that might be a better read than it is a watch. His relationships with the different girls, cool. You know what I mean? That's totally fine. I like that they're pretty obvious. I think that's cool. It doesn't seem like he's completely dense about it. It just seems like he's very much going to be one of those annoying characters. Like, I need to figure out myself first before I need to love me before I can love somebody else. And we'll probably not get any romance at all because he's going to spend the whole entire season discovering who he really is. And this anime dweeb guy is probably going to end up being the person that gets him to realize that you can be yourself or something like that. And that's fine too. It can be good. It can be good. I don't know if it's going to be, but it can be. And I'm trying to think what else. The animation's pretty. I like that it was 30 minutes long. The animation's very pretty. I think the characters are very well drawn. It seems like he's going to have several different love interests in Yua and Asuka and Yuko and Yuzuki. So it seems like he'll probably have 3 to 5 girls that are probably going to vie for him and are probably going to make it very apparent, etc., etc. Will anything come of it? I doubt it. Just based on, I can just tell. You can just kind of see the writing on the wall. So for me, some of the things that the show needs to do to kind of like make me want to watch it week after week after watching episode 1 is, first off, it needs to be funny if that's the intention. The writing, it needs to be very intentional. So, he needs to figure out his depression, you know, whatever he's going through that the show's going to depict to us, he needs to figure that out pretty quickly. If it's a whole season of him figuring it out, that's going to be very boring. 3, I paused episode 1. I'll be 100%. I paused this show 4 times. For me, when I pause this show, that means like I can't lock in. I can't be paying attention. Like it's either boring me or like my eyes start to like gloss over, and that's not a good sign on EP1. So for me, it really needs to keep my attention and needs to kind of keep things moving. 4, if it's gonna have romance elements, it needs to have physical romance. And yeah, 5 is it's apparent that he's gonna have some kind of bullies, and they're probably ex-teammates or something. He probably did something to them. So they just need to have like a good outcome of these storylines that is going to manifest. Just being 100%. So yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on this one, guys. I can see a lot of people really liking this. I can see a lot of people really singing its praises. But when we get to the core of like, but why? That's where I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts are, especially if you're on the side of the fence of like, that was the best thing I've seen all season, which I get it. People can feel that way. There's a lot of shows that people feel that way that I'm just like, I don't think we watched the same thing. But those are all my feelings, guys. That's just my opinion. It's often wrong. So let me know your guys' opinion in the comment below. And I think I'm going to continue with this one just out of morbid curiosity. But if I wasn't I'll be real, if I wasn't a YouTube reviewer, I might just end up, this reminds me of Blue Box. Like people loved Blue Box. I ended up watching all 25 fucking episodes of that show. And I was like, this fucking show sucks. This is so slow. It's so dumb. The writing is but people love it. If you ask somebody, they're like, oh, Blue Box is the best romance anime. I'm like, I don't think that we, 1, don't have the same taste, and 2, I don't think we watch the same thing. I think you're watching it with like glossy eyes. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. I've talked for 11 minutes. I'll see you guys next week for episode 2. Peace.